So can we talk about Twitch's new policy of monitoring streamers off
Yeah.
platform and taking action against them on platform?
Yeah, I honestly don't know enough about this, but it's interesting. It's I mean, we sort of saw this happen with a different platform, right? We saw this happen with Patreon,
Mm-hmm.
and this was a really big blow up for Patreon. But I think Twitch is trying to get more preemptive with it. So they're trying to set this up because Patreon's like they hadn't established precedent for that at all, and it seems like
Right.
Twitch is trying to set this up beforehand. Um,
So I won't say that they're trying to get out ahead of it. I would say they're trying to dig themselves out from behind a problem here. So let's run through what's happening here. So Twitch, for those not familiar, is a streaming service where a lot of gamers play a lot of video games and do a lot of other stuff, body painting or IRL type stuff. Let's just chatting, kind of all that kind of stuff. Okay, so Twitch,
Sleeping.
you can kind of stream eating. You can stream pretty much anything these days.
Yeah.
Um, and what they have all kinds of rules though. So even though you can kind of do anything, they do have rules for what you are not allowed to do. For example, Twitch streamers have gotten in hot water for doing all kinds of stuff on stream. I mean, we're talking like real bad stuff: spousal abuse, animal abuse, you know, inadvertent nudity, both the kinds of inadvertent nudity. But what they okay, let's go ahead though. So Twitch is a streaming platform, all right? And they've announced they will be monitoring streamers' activity not just on platform for adherence to their code of conduct, but also off platform. So Twitch's mods could come at you with one of two categories. Category one is you harassing someone. So what they say is verifiable off-service behaviors or statements that relate to an incident will be taken into account, whether the incident took place on Twitch or somewhere else. Or category two, you do any of the following: deadly violence or violent extremism, terrorist activities or recruiting, explicit or credible threats of mass violence, leadership or membership in a known hate group, carrying out or being complicit in non-consensual sexual activities or sexual assault, sexual exploitation of children, including child grooming / solicitation and distribution of underage sexual material, actions that would directly and explicitly compromise the physical safety of the Twitch community, and explicit or credible threats against Twitch, including Twitch staff. And the list is not exhaustive.
So one thing about category 2 is at
Yeah,
least the things that were listed there is it's basically crimes.
yeah, it's all illegal. As for how Twitch is going to prevent false reports and abuse, because I don't know about you, Luke,
That's
but
gonna be
I think it's
real.
possible that within the gaming community, some people, for various reasons, might make false reports. Do you think that is possible within the broader gaming community?
I don't know. I think, maybe some people could stoop to that level, but
So
yeah, I know that's gonna be pretty intense. There's gonna be a lot of that.
apparently, Twitch says that all claims are to be substantiated before any action related to the user's report is taken, and action will only be taken where a preponderance of evidence exists. I don't know if that means beyond all reasonable doubt, like how it would if this was a legal proceeding or not, but whatever a preponderance of evidence is, and no action will be taken while an account is still under investigation. Accounts submitting large amounts of frivolous reports or encouraging others to do the same will be suspended. And now I guess we get into the part where we're talking about how this came
One
to be.
one quick second.
Yeah.
Preponderance of evidence, related content, the standard of proof commonly used in civil litigation. So
Okay.
would it stand up in court?
All right. But then who is the actual judge of that? Are they a lawyer?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So anyway, um, where is this coming from? There's a lot of reasons for people to be upset about this, because basically Twitch has now moved beyond they're a private platform, but they have moved their policing beyond their private platform, where ultimately you can kind of say, well, look, you know, your toy, your rules. So, fine. But now they're basically saying, well, our rules extend beyond the use of our toy and to the use of other toys. I think that everything that they've got listed is pretty fair and a pretty valid reason to deplatform someone. But I think where many people are getting caught on this, or not caught, but where many people are getting upset about this is that there does appear to be at least the possibility of a slippery slope and the
Yeah.
possibility that Twitch could play the role of judge, jury, and executioner.
I mean, they already have,
In a
though.
way they're not
Like,
qualified to. Twitch's
but
mods.
that precedence is there. They axed Dr. Disrespect.
Well, we don't know why, though. So we don't know that they didn't have a fantastic reason. And I think if
he's to be believed, he doesn't either.
No, I don't think he ever said that. I think what he said is
Okay.
that Twitch didn't tell him. I don't think he ever actually said he doesn't know.
Okay.
So
okay.
don't quote me on that, but I doubt that he has no idea. I just don't buy it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my
I have
hot
no-
take. That's my hot take on that. But the bigger issue here, aside from just there's a slippery slope kind of argument to be made, is that Twitch's history of enforcement is spotty at best,
Yeah.
even of the rules and guidelines that they already have for their own site, let alone off platform. And I think they have a trust problem among the community that makes it hard to take them seriously. Like they are actually going to be going about this in good faith and applying these rules consistently. The problem is that I don't see what choice Twitch has, because here's another hot take that may get me into some trouble. People might not agree with this, but I think that Twitch's back is kind of against a wall here. I think they have to do this because Twitch has a different image problem. Twitch ends up being this nexus of controversy more often than I think just about any other online platform. And I don't know what it is. The nature of live streaming, the nature of the gaming community, the nature of the Twitch community in particular, the way that the Twitch audience is so dialed into social media and things get amplified. I don't know what it is, but if
live chats are harder to moderate.
If there is an online controversy, the odds that it stems from Twitch TV is higher than the odds that it stems from almost anywhere else, with maybe the exception of YouTube. And so for the sake of protecting its own brand and the credibility and brand of the streamers who do play by the rules and not engage in terrorist activities or sexual exploitation of children, yada, yada, that entire list.
I suspect people aren't going to be too concerned about Category 2 existing. I think people are only really going to be concerned about Category 1 existing.
So either way, in order for Twitch to protect their own brand, and not just their own brand, but the brand of the people who use the platform, I don't see what choice they had. Because as a YouTuber, this is kind of like, it's something I don't talk about often, but as a YouTuber, people have kind of in their mind what a word like that means. You know, whether it's the word influencer or YouTuber or Twitch streamer, there is a certain kind of generalization that takes place about any group of people. And it's never right to do, but it always happens, whether we like it or not. And so as a YouTuber, personally, every time I read in the news that some famous YouTuber was sexting with a minor again, I'm sitting here going, all right, well, that's another sort of side eyes glance that I'm gonna have to see when I'm in mixed company and I say, yes, I'm a YouTuber, and people are like, oh, right, those web personalities that abuse their positions of power and groom minors for sexual favors, cool. Huh, I wonder, you know, is he scouting out the minors at this get
or is he
together
like
right now?
friends with that person or whatever else? Because there's other stuff too. Yeah.
And so I understand why they are doing it, but the thing is too, as an online creator, I have an inherent distrust of the platforms that we are reliant on, be it Twitch or YouTube, or actually Floatplane's all right. Good job, Luke. Floatplane's cool. But I
Hey,
have this inherent distrust of these platforms because their enforcement standards are so inconsistent that we just don't know what to freaking expect from them. So I don't see what choice Twitch had, but I'm also made extremely uncomfortable by this move. So I just don't really know how to feel. There, that is the long and short of it.
yeah, I there's definitely makes me uncomfortable, but at the same time, if you saw this is way smaller scale, but say you're watching a live stream, a Kyle live stream.
Sure. Like
I
Bitwig
don't
Kyle?
Bitwig Kyle,
Sure.
yeah. He has a new live streaming thing. I think it's called Workhorse, but with the
Yep.
vowels taken out or something like that. So say you're watching Workhorse,
Sure.
and you're having a great time, you're enjoying it, and then somebody jumps in chat and just starts popping off.
Sure.
Racism, sexism, swear words,
Sure.
very vulgar stuff, trying to recruit people to, I don't know, terrorist organizations, whatever
Sure.
other things are in that list. Would you, if you knew that person was on the forum, would you want to ban them from the forum?
I would want to, but it is against our policy at this time to take any kind of action against people on the forum that based on incidents that took place off the forum. So I get this is another way of me copping out and saying I see both sides of this one. Yeah, I don't have a good solution to that, because if this person is on their best behavior online as techtips.com and does nothing but help people configure their computers properly and obeys our site guidelines, which is effectively be excellent to each other and don't be a dick, right? Then what am I supposed to say? See, already we've got a mixed response to this. Ferno182 says I would 100% support banning those people, and Blue Sky says it's a bad idea. It's like, there you go. We are 50-50 already in the Floatplane chat. It took like 8 seconds.
Verification's a problem. Is this actually the same person?
Of course.
There's lots of other problems there. There's also the potential problem of, I mean, that's Kyle's channel, and I chose Kyle for a reason. It's actually fairly likely that some of Kyle's audience might be on the LTT forum. There's some crossover there. So
yeah, absolutely.
That person may have attacked or offended or whatever deeply, like in very brutal, not okay ways, people that are on the forum.
Yep.
And they might run into them on the forum. And then those other people are expected to be civil with that person now on this other medium. Like the waters get really kind of gross. So
Gatorade OW says grooming is something very much more present in music and cinema than online creators, and that's fair enough. I mean, if you want to talk about sort of whether it's celebrity culture or whether it's big business where lots of money is being made culture, whatever, we could have those conversations. But the reality of it is, as news coverage and as news consumption shifts online, there is an inherent reporting bias towards creators online. There's also just like it's also more shocking, because with like some movie star or athlete, you don't think you have a personal relationship with them. You don't think you know who they are. And in some ways, they are already viewed through that lens of like, oh, well, they're probably a Hollywood elite, or they're probably like a scumbag athlete who goes to the club and gets a bunch of COVID and spreads it amongst their teammates, or whatever the case may be. Like, you already kind of have these preconceptions, whereas this image shift with online creators is only taking place over the last few years as they get big enough and influential enough to start engaging in these sorts of behaviors. I mean, the reality of it is that people who are going to do these things are out there waiting for the opportunity. It's just a matter of now it's happening, and now it's shocking because YouTubers and Twitch streamers, they're so much more accessible and so much more directly engaged with their audiences that I think it just like when that whole thing happened with Shay, what's his last name from the Shaytards?
Shay Carl?
Yeah, Shay Carl, where he was like sexting a Oh man, I forget.
I don't think I even know about this. While you try to look that up, I was just gonna say, like, so they brought up the music and
Yeah.
whatever other thing. I think it's gonna be essentially anywhere where someone has a large amount of especially cultural influence over young people.
Yep.
The people that have these nefarious intentions. I keep looking into my webcam. It's the new camera. Sorry, I'm not used to looking up there. People that have these nefarious intentions are likely going to look to try to abuse those routes. Like, we very unfortunately saw it blow up in the competitive gaming scene. I
Yeah.
know Super Smash Bros got gutted for a bit there, and there's a couple Super Smash Bros pros that I like to follow on Twitter, and there was a few weeks there where I was like, please don't,
Please don't,
like,
friend.
I don't, I don't want, like, I'm just hoping the like 2 or 3
Yeah.
people that I follow in this space don't end up being complete scumbags. That would be fantastic.
And it's so much
Just
more upsetting when it's someone that you like thought you knew,
yeah,
you know? It's
yeah,
like when your neighbor turns out to be a serial killer versus when someone who like lives on the other side of the country is a serial killer or whatever.
you
'Cause-
almost feel that, because there's even if it's really small, there's some modicum of trust there.
Absolutely.
You like this person, you follow them on social media, you follow their actions, you follow them through tournaments,
You're
whatever else.
invested in them.
You're invested, and then when they turn out to be just a piece of, I don't have the bleep button, it sucks, and
Yeah.
you feel it. Yeah.